Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to Comedy Club Zoom Room. Thank you for being here tonight. We have an amazing lineup for you. I'd just like to tell you about the 3 charities that you are helping to support in this time of crisis. We have Art Cube Army, who have been manufacturing PPEs and shields for the hospitals. These are freelance art directors from film and TV and theater, our people, and they've been fabricating and donating and delivering for free. We're also supporting God's Love We Deliver, who create and deliver medically tailored meals for severely ill patients, also critical high demand in this time. And we are supporting New York City comedians who are out of work and want your help to keep going and keep making you laugh. So share the links. The donation links are open for the next 2 weeks for the festival. Come back after tonight to the New York Underground Comedy Festival. We're just going to wait a few minutes, grab your drinks, grab your friends, make yourself comfortable, and we'll get started in a few moments with your host, Lori Summer.
Excellent. And as we are waiting for that, just a couple of quick more announcements. We are using the Zoom webinar technology, so if you would like to share a message with the fellow attendees and panelists, you can do that in the chat, so you can get a sense of where some of you are coming in from. You can change the to all panelists and attendees, and share where you're zooming in from. Again, if you have ideas, thoughts, questions, you can share that as well. So people are already starting to show it. We've got a shout out from Brooklyn, from Toronto, Sunnyvale, Brooklyn Heights, Crown Heights as well. Shout out. I used to live in Crown Heights. Amazing butter and scotch is in Crown Heights, one of the best dessert and drinks bars you can go to. So shout out to all of them as we're allowing people in. So thank you all so much for joining us. Now we're going to turn it over to your host and MC for the evening. Please make some virtual noise. You can do that by kind of putting some exclamation points in the chat. We're going to use that as applause for tonight. And then those of you listening with the audio, you can also give a round of applause to your host and MC, Lori Summer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on a Friday night. Thank you for supporting comedy and laughter, and of course, all of these wonderful causes that we are raising money for, and we will be for the next couple of weeks during the Underground Comedy Festival. So tonight is the first night. We do hope that you'll come back. You'll see me more than once. Maybe after I do some comedy, you won't want to come back. Just kidding. You'll totally want to come back. So yes, I am Lori Summer. I am your host, born and raised in New York. I'm not in the city right now. I know a lot of you are tuning in from the city, and I'm out in the burbs. I'm out in Long Island. If you get the accent, I apologize. I can't help it. When I'm out here, this is what happens. But we're not, one of the things that I don't like about being out here and not in the city is that I'm not a part of the 7 p.m. ritual of going outside and banging pots and cheering and everything. And I'm so thankful that my friends do videos of it. It's so beautiful. I was a little upset that it was at 7 p.m. because I'm like, what, that's when Jeopardy's on. Why can't we do it at why can't we do it at 7:30? I don't have to see what Vanna's wearing. 6:30, you could have done it then, but whatever. All right, 7 o'clock, here it is. And 7 o'clock, the first night, I ran outside in the suburbs, and I was the only person screaming. And I decided to make that a ritual as well. So every day at 7 o'clock, I just run outside of the house into the street and scream, "What the fuck is happening?" And then I run right back inside. And so far, no one's bothered us at my parents' house. Every day, this is what I do. It's Groundhog Day. Every single day is Groundhog Day. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie. If not, you have some time to watch it. I don't hear "I got you, babe," when I open my eyes, but every day is the same exact thing for me. I open my eyes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I have a sore throat. Oh my God. Oh my God, I have COVID. Oh my God. Oh my God. Every morning. I'm convinced that I have it every single morning. Then I get up I get a drink. I have some potatoes for breakfast. Just kidding. It's vodka. And that's how I start my day. Like, that's pretty much how I start my day every day. And I realize that, you know, when this is over, you know, I know that people are like eager to get back to work and everything. And I will say that what I really want to do, that once everything gets back to normal, is I want to go on vacation. That's what I want to do when all of this is over. I don't want to go back to work. I want to go away somewhere, and I want to lay someplace and drink cocktails all day, and which really isn't different than what I'm doing right now. I just want to do it. I want to do it someplace else, just not here. I feel bad for my parents because they're stuck with me, and I'm a lot. I have 2 sick parents that, you know, I have both of them, you know, they're on that spectrum of they could get it. And and that's a lot to, like, I'm responsible for 2 people, you know, and I'm not a parent. I don't have any pets. I killed plants. I have nothing. I've been responsible for nothing. I don't even know how I'm still on the planet. But now I have to care for the people that created me and brought me into this world. And it's a lot of pressure because, you know, just every day I'm nervous every single day. That, you know, like, I go to the store, I come back, I'm washing, and I just, because I don't want them to get it. If they get it, I gave it, and then I can't. I'm scared. So, you know, like, if there's a cough, if there's a sniffle, if there is a sneeze, a clearing of the throat, I jump right up. I'm like, oh my God, do you have it? Do you have a fever? Can you smell things? Can you taste things? Do you have the poo-poo cocks? Like, what, are you okay? And my dad, like, he doesn't have any. The only symptoms that my dad ever really complains about is a pain in his ass. And I didn't know that was one of the symptoms, but my father complains about a pain in his ass every day, all day. Actually, he's had a pain in the ass all day, every day. I was writing notes, you know, like I didn't go to the store, I didn't buy paper, and, you know, I'm like, let me be useful and, you know, resourceful and use things that's around the house whenever I'm writing notes and everything down. And I found lots of paper. My father had all these stacks of paper that I've been using, and it's his OTB bedding sheets. Right? This is there's lots of OTB bedding sheets, and this is what I've been using for scrap paper. And you know, just so you know, horse racing, not essential. It's essential for my dad. He's really upset about it. He can't lose money every day, but whatever. He can still play the numbers and do scratch-off tickets. But the OTB, no. I could look at this page and I don't understand. Even though I grew up, I grew up going to OTB. Like, that was a thing. I went to OTB every day with my father. If you've never been inside an off-track betting place, I want to give you, like, the sense of what it's like in there. There's no breeze or anything. Like, it's dank air that smells like cigarettes and disappointment. Like that, it's a lot. That's what it smells like. And a little bit of BO. I got to be honest. There was a lot of BO. And they hated me. Like, growing up, I never had more adults. I mean, like, as an adult, I have adults hate me, but as a child, I had adults hate me because, and at OT, all men hated me. Now they would probably want to bury their penis in me, but it doesn't matter. Are we going dirty during the pandemic? We are, a little bit. I said bury their penis inside of me. I don't know why my parents didn't come to the show. So I asked them. I did. I asked my parents. I was like, do you want to come watch the show? And they said, no. All right. So yeah, I did show them before I got here. And my father was like, why are you wearing so much makeup? I was like, really not, Daddy. I put on lipstick. He said, well, I don't like it. All right. So So they hated me in the OTB because I used to steal all of the pencils and all of the paper and doodle, and they didn't appreciate my art. And I really hope that you guys are appreciating my art now, because I didn't get it growing up as a child. I'm doing okay during the pandemic. You know, a lot of people. It's funny. There's a lot of people that are losing weight, which is wonderful. You're losing weight during this time, and apparently you're losing it in Long Island because I found it. And it's you know, like the one good thing is my boobs grew, but so did everything else, and that part I'm not happy about. I'm still not going to wear a bra. You know, if I do, I'm still rocking the training bra. So whatever. But a lot of people are upset. My friends are upset that the beaches and pools are going to be closed. And, you know, I'm relieved because I just want to keep eating bread. Like, that's what I want to do. Like that. I don't know what your comforts are. Mine is bread and cheese. Like that is... Like, that's all I want. A friend of mine wrote on Facebook, and she goes, I just went through my refrigerator and I can't believe I have 6 different kinds of cheese. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. Like 6 different kinds of cheese. So I was curious and I went into my refrigerator. I was like, let me count how many kinds of cheese I have. 11. I have 11. I actually just lied to you. It was 14. I didn't want to seem like it was that much. So I thought 11 was a reasonable one, but it was 14 different kinds of cheese. And I'm actually going to fry some of it because that's the best kind of cheese. Because I'm getting very crafty in the kitchen, and I always was. How am I single? But I'm very crafty. I'm going to fry mozzarella. And, you know, because my people, I should be able to do that. And I never even thought to do that at home. Like, I never, like, these are the things that we're thinking about. Like, oh, shit, I can make all this stuff at home. I don't have to go out anywhere to order. Like, I made Chinese food last week. I did. I made it with MSG, because fuck it. I'm going all the way back. I don't know what else I want to talk. What do I want to talk about? I don't know. What else do you guys want to know about me? What, have I shaved? No, I haven't. I have not shaved. I haven't. The whole pandemic, I have not shaved. Not at all. I stopped shaving 2 months prior to the pandemic, but that is another story. I was like, let me get a jump. I feel like something's going to happen. It's amazing how much the hair is growing on my legs. And it's actually falling out of my eyebrows. So I don't know what kind of anxiety stress that is, but that's a thing. Now I haven't had any pot because I can't handle that anxiety. Because I get paranoid anyway when I smoke the pot. But and 420 just passed, and I was like, ooh, this is my day. I actually told my parents because I'm in my 40s and I could do that now. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna smoke pot. It's 420, and my mom was like, well, just go outside and do it. So, so my dad called up his friend and got me some pot that I didn't smoke. It's a very weird time. My dad is getting me weed. He gets it from his friend whose nickname is Space. So it's really good weed. All right. It is great weed. You know what? I am having so much fun with you guys. You want to start the show? I mean, we already did, and I'm great. So you can clap for me.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Sip of water because I'm dying. And I am going to bring up the first comedian. I'm so excited. I saw her. She did her debut. Oh my God, I'm really choking. COVID. All right. So she did her debut for stand-up last week and was absolutely hilarious. A natural, a joy. She's my new friend, and I hope she's my forever friend. You could find her on fireballnetwork.com. And you're going to see her right now. She's one of the co-producers for the show, and I am so happy to be a part of it. Put your hands together. Make a lot of noise for Dina. Fireball Bakowitz. Yay!
I built a set for the show because I'm a drama queen. So, good evening, everybody. I found out I look just as short on Zoom as I do in real life. Most comics, they lean on the mic stand like this. I have to lean up to the mic stand like this. Yes, I'm Dina. This is my real hair and my real height. I am 4'6¾". I live in a 500 square foot apartment in New York City. I can't even socially distance from myself. And it's not even a studio. A studio sounds hip and cool, like an art studio or a film studio. No, I live in a junior 1-bedroom. Even my landlord is making fun of my size. A junior 1-bedroom sounds like a mini design mock-up, or where they go to shoot to catch a predator. Yes, I only look like jailbait from behind. That line used to work when I was in my 20s and 30s. Not so much now. But my apartment's tiny. A little bit of a hot mess right now, just like me. But also very, very clean. I picked the wrong time to stop being a germaphobe. I have been wiping down my groceries for 20 years. My mother used to call me crazy. Now she calls me an expert. Yeah, but I'm a high-functioning germaphobe. I shake hands because I'm a networker, and I hug people because I'm an extrovert, and I will let a total stranger in a bar stick his tongue down my throat because I'm single. Functioning germaphobe. I love to dance. I auditioned for the Rockettes because I have no grasp on reality. They rejected me, obviously, too Jewish. But it's okay. I found a wonderful new career. I am a networking coach, which means that I get paid to teach professionals how to build strategic, long-term, meaningful relationships. I've never been married. I've been single most of my life, and I live alone. Come to my ironic TED Talk. Thank you. I've been doing online dating for 20 years. Yeah. I've been doing online dating for so long. I got my 10,000 hours in. Although people calls me master, and my clients call me mistress. So tonight, in honor of coronavirus, I wore red and the curly red Corona hair. You know, I think Corona and me, we have a lot in common. Like, I'm an extrovert. Crowds are my happy place. Anybody I meet, I just latch right onto them. And you don't know if I'm going to stick around for days or hours or weeks or maybe years. Good luck getting rid of me. You know, we're just looking for love. But nobody wants to bring us home to meet their parents. Yeah, it's hard to be single. I was dating a guy last year, sweet, but poor communication skills. He communicated by texting. I communicate by talking. He's an introvert. I'm an extrovert. He used text and emoji. I use full sentences and feelings. He was sweet though. He would take me out for very expensive dinners, top shelf liquor, ironically, because we're both really short. And mostly he just wanted to, you know, have dinner, drink, stay home and have sex. Like the perfect pandemic partner. He also bought me interesting gifts. He bought me a set of lace thongs. He said he liked my ass. I have a hot ass, apparently. Who knew? And he bought me a frying pan because he said, I need to learn to cook. Yeah. And I said, why do I need to learn to cook if I have a hot ass? Let me tell you, that frying pan is coming in really handy right now. But I think it was a mistake to break up with him because if I had held on, I'd have a full set of pots and pans a pressure cooker, and he probably would have bought me all of Victoria's Secret in the bankruptcy sale. Jewish boys know how to shop. Yeah. So have I mentioned I'm an extrovert? And I'm single. And I just started a new career as a volunteer comic. But guess what? Comedy is now the #1 search term on the internet. Comedy has beat porn as the #1 search term on the internet. Do you know what that means? Comics are now officially hotter than porn stars. I mean, I've been waiting for this my whole life, you know? I'm too old to be a porn star. I'm too short to be a rockette, but I have the perfect body for stand-up. So, stuck at home alone. But, you know, I don't let a pandemic get in the way of my life. No, I've been doing online dating. And now online dating is literally online dating. So last weekend, I had 3 FaceTime first dates on Saturday in a row. Because I'm an overachiever. And, you know, maybe practice makes perfect, and maybe I'll eventually get it right. So I don't know. I mean, 3 in a row. Like, either the men are getting desperate, or I'm way hotter in quarantine than I ever was in real life. So, and 2 out of the 3 guys afterwards texted me and said, "I bet you're a great kisser." 2 out of the 3. There's always one fucking critic in the bunch. Some guy with unrealistic expectations. Buddy, lower your standards. So, I mean, I bet you'd be a great kisser. I am, but how do I prove it? Like, no one's tongue is that long. So then, oh, you guys, this one was special. One of the guys I met, he offered to bring me masks. Surgical masks from the hospital where he works. I know. Like, nothing says I want you like contraband medical equipment. This guy was willing to walk 30 blocks with premium product just so I could wave at him from 6 feet away. You know, and like, I mean, that's really sweet. That's romantic. But how do I put out from 6 feet away? You know, and normally you take me out, you buy me a drink, I'll make out with you at the bar. I mean, isn't that the universal definition of a first date? 2 drinks, fish tacos, we're going away for the weekend. But yeah, so surgical masks on the first date, and I'm like, I wonder what the second date will be. Like a bouquet of long stem swabs. Right? Third date is traditionally face shields. Plexiglass really brings out the green in your eyes. And it does. But ladies, and man, I'm thinking by the 4th date, if he shows up with a ventilator, I'm bringing him and the ventilator into my tiny little apartment. He's a keeper. You know, and he said he'd wear his scrubs. Scrubs are the new lingerie. So I wore my white lace hospital gown, keeping with the theme. And I like a little role play, and a little kink is fine. But instead of handcuffs, he brought restraints. Yeah, so I thought, you know, and then he said to me, he goes, I really want to share physical space with you. Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. That is the pandemic version of, but it feels so much better without a condom. I'm clean. Trust me. So I broke up with him. I mean, we didn't really have that much in common. Honestly, I was just using him for the free medical gear. Thank you all for coming. Donate to medical gear. Donate to our charities, and have a great evening.
Yay! Oh my God. Ina Fireball Bakowitz. Is she not amazing? This was her second time. Clap again. Send messages again and let her know how amazing. So you can find her at Fireball Dina. That's how you'll find her on all of her social media. And then you can also find her on fireballnetwork.com. And in celebration of her, this is how I feel.
Wow.
Dina, I bought that specifically for you because you were going to be here tonight.
Besties.
Total besties.
We are.
Oh my God. All right, I'm on fire. All right. And you know, unfortunately, Dina, you're right. No one's tongue is that long. Unfortunately. All right. You're getting raunchy again on a Friday night. I just fireballed it up. All right. I am going to bring the next comedian to your lap. I don't know. You're going to have someone else's face in your lap right now, and it's going to be a man's face coming to your lap right now. This gentleman, he's done every single thing in comedy and in the arts that you could imagine. He's one of the creators, the creator of the New York City Underground Comedy Festival. He's been on TV, film. He has a production company. He's one of my best friends. Please put your hands together and show a lot of love to my friend Jim Mendrinos.
Woo! Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you all for showing up, and thanks to everyone who donated to the charities to get in here. We really do appreciate that more than you know. It is good to be with you guys, and we quarantine. This is the new social interaction. It is through online, which is kind of bringing me back to the days when the internet started, and we'd all have those little AOL chat rooms that we'd go into, and it would start out nice, and you'd be there with 4 or 5 of your buddies, and then there was always that one weird old creepy dude that would just pop up for no reason, and apparently that is now my job during the pandemic. One old creepy dude that pops up during it. You know, it's fun just listening to everybody. This is the most I've listened to comedy in a while, because usually it's comedians where they're like, oh, my show's at 10:20, so I'll get there at 10:26, and let the MC introduce me to get on stage. So it's fun to listen to people and hear what they're talking about. And Lori's talking about her dad being a degenerate gambler, which I know that very well, because that was one of the lovely traits that was passed down from my father to me. That's one of the few things that he taught me about. He never taught me how to read or write or do any of that. That was left to the teachers. But he did tell me how to fill out a racing sheet. So that I knew at a very early age, which is always fun, because her description of OTB, the gambling parlors, is exact. But the one place that she's wrong, and you need to double check on your dad, degenerate gamblers will find a way to degenerate gamble, because basically right now I am in the world's biggest COVID pool to find out when they're going to reopen New York City. And,
oh my God.
I have June 15th in the pool. I do. The over-under is July 1st. I took the under. I think we're coming back a little bit sooner, because you gotta get your bets in. And I am sheltering with family. I'm very fortunate that I get to shelter with family, because you know, so many of my friends are alone. So many of my friends in New York City are living in apartments by themselves and talking to the walls, which is, you know, I am fortunate in that there are other human beings in this apartment who can tell me that I'm an asshole face to face. That is the fortunate thing that I have, because while my friends get, you know, loneliness and isolation and peace and quiet, I get people going, you're in my way, and I have to move. Because everyone talks about, oh, it's awful for people that have to shelter by themselves, and it is. It is truly awful if anybody is sheltering by themselves. And if you're by yourself, I don't feel for you. But when you're sheltering with other people, it means you're locked in the same place with other people. For instance, I had spent 4 days where I did not, and nobody from the house left the house for 4 days. And after 4 days of being a family trapped in the same building, you no longer love your family. You no longer care for your family. You're no longer afraid of the pandemic anymore. They're like, if I go outside without a mask or gloves, what's the worst that could happen? I don't come home. I'm willing to risk it. I also admit I did not take the pandemic seriously when it started. I know that a lot of people felt that way. Like people were saying, it's a horrible disease, but if you just wash your hands more, it'll go away. And I bought into that, just wash your hands more, it'll go away, like the flu. And I actually was glad when I first heard it was coming, because my thought was, if we lose a couple of thousand of non-hand washing dirty bastards, I'm okay with that. If we lose the dirty part of society, I'm more than okay with that. One of the last days I was in New York City before I left, I was on the A train. I don't know what trains you guys take, but I was on the A train coming down from Washington Heights down into the city, and there's that one long stop from 125th Street all the way down to I believe it's 59th Street. That one long, epic 8-minute subway ride, and we're all packed in this car together, and we're all face to face, and it's just after the news of COVID broke, and we weren't social distancing yet, but people were cautious. But it's also a tremendously racist society that we live in, and I'm on the pole, and basically the entire universe is pressed up against me, and across from me is a little old lady of Asian descent, and she had to be maybe 109, 110 years old, very ancient, and everyone's kind of giving her the evil eye, you know what I'm saying? And she coughed. And immediately upon coughing, the entirety of the car moved away from her. And it was the most room I had ever had on the A train in my life. And I have a decision, because I'm right across from her. Do I stand here and take a risk, or do I move like everyone else? And I basically stood there and took the risk, because in my opinion, I'd rather die from a virus than have the creepy guy that's been rubbing up against me for the past 2 stops rub up against me anymore. Because pretty much when the homeless guy is using you the same way your dog uses your leg, that's not a good feeling. So I chose to attract the COVID thing. So I've been doing all the things in pandemic. I'm trying to minimize the amount I go out. So it leads me to overshop. I don't know if you guys do that. You go to the store and you're there like, I don't want to come to the store for 3 weeks, so I'm going out, and they don't have everything you need. So you wind up panicking and get things like you're never going to use at all. Like I wanted to get oranges, and they had no oranges. So there's a bag of something called ugly fruit, and I'm there like, fuck it, I'm trying ugly fruit. That's what we're doing. By the way, if you ever see ugly fruit, it is indeed ugly. That is the best named product of all time. You just look at it and you go, I'm not eating this. And you immediately buy it and put it in the trash. It is that repulsive. The second you do it. But what's happened is nearly in the beginning of my shopping, I'm in the kitchen, and my dad was not only a degenerate gambler, but he was also a chef. So he also taught me how to cook, which means I can cook amazingly. So like day number 1, I'm making mushroom risotto. Day number 2, I'm making polenta. Day number 3, I'm making shrimp and grits. It's amazing what I'm making the first few days. And then when we get to the end, when we get to the point where I have to go back to the supermarket, it's like a really bad episode of Chopped in my kitchen. Because I'm literally opening up the refrigerator and going, okay, so I've got pasta, I've got garlic, I have Taylor ham or pork roll, depending on what part of Jersey. And apparently I have 4 pieces of ugly fruit. All right, so this is going to be a really weird meal. And there's not much takeout where I am, because I'm up in Bergen County, New Jersey. That's where we're sheltering. And it's an epicenter where I am, because we're trapped between 2 towns. The town I'm in is an extremely large Hasidic community, which didn't practice enough social distancing. So there's a lot of cases. And then across the river, there's Paterson, New Jersey. And I don't know if you've ever seen Paterson, but Paterson was diseased well before COVID came here. Pretty much COVID can only improve Paterson. That's kind of how that is. So there's just like a whole lot of stuff here. So there's not a whole lot of takeout. And the takeout I'm getting is also fairly racist because somebody put a garbage can through one of the local Chinese restaurants' windows when we first had a shelter in place. So all the Chinese food places closed in my town. And if you know anything about me, it's, Italian food, Greek food, Indian food, Chinese food. Those are the 4 basic food groups. That's pretty much everything I make and everything I eat. So I've been jonesing for like 8 weeks for Chinese food. And I'm at my local CVS, and I hear 2 gentlemen talking, and they got the masks on, so they're a little louder than they think they need to be. They're trying to be covert, but because they got the masks on, they don't quite have the COVID whisper down when you have the mask on. So one of them mentions that one of the Chinese places has opened up. And I was very curious at that point. So I'm like hovering around them trying to listen while I'm looking for things on the shelf. Like, oh, yeah, I need Ensure. That's exactly what I need in my life right now. So and I figure out by him talking which Chinese restaurant it is. And it's not the good Chinese restaurant in our town. Because every neighborhood has like the good Chinese restaurant and the other Chinese restaurants. This was one of the other Chinese restaurants, but I'm desperate, so I'm good. I figure it out, and I get home, and I tell the lady, this Chinese restaurant open. She's like, no, it's not open. They're all closed. They're like, no, there's one open. So that night, I'm there like, I need to get a delivery. And I pick up the phone, and I call the Chinese restaurant. And here's how you know some shady shit is going on. Instead of answering the phone like Panda Walk, no. He picked up the phone like, hello? And I'm there like, yeah, is this Panda Walk? And he's like, who's this? Like, dude, I just want some Chinese food. Oh, the Chinese restaurants are closed. You sound like a Trump supporter. And they're like, I'm not, dude. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm a dumpling lover. You need to help me out here. And I realized that I'm communicating with this man the same way I communicated with my drug dealer when I was in my early 20s. It's covert and it's begging. That's what's happening at this point. So I'm there like, no, you gotta help me out. He's there like, I don't know if I should. I'm there like, what's the minimum? He goes, $60 minimum. And I'm there like, $60 minimum? John, let's do this. That is how desperate I was. So I ordered $60 worth of Chinese food. Literally, there were over 150 dumplings that were on my table. And I'm not ashamed to say that is the best time I have had this entire pandemic. I'm just sitting there like, there are like 8,000. I'm good. I'm really good. So I'm going to tell you this last thing before I wrap up, because this has been fun for me, but we've all got the things we miss and we're planning on doing when this strikes. I know that Lori talked about wanting to go somewhere else to do the exact same thing that she's doing right here. I'm finding that I'm very self-reflective during this time, and I'm actually missing people that I can't stand in real life. I am looking forward to sitting in a room with someone that's an asshole, just so I can look across at them and go, I appreciate your assholishness. I really do. I appreciate it. It took my time having to shelter away from everyone to make me realize how precious my time avoiding you has actually been. So you guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your show. Good night, everybody.
Yay, Jim! Yay! Am I one of the assholes? Yay! Come see me. Oh God, you're making me want more Chinese food. You were talking about the mask and how people have to learn how to talk with masks. I don't mind the mask thing. Like, I'm actually really, especially being a female and in New York, because I never have to worry about a man telling me to smile. Because he'll never know when I'm wearing the mask. So I'm really actually looking forward to it. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna wear the mask, and forever my face will be like, that's how I'm gonna walk around underneath the mask. All right, are you ready for more? I'm ready for more. Are you having a good time? I'm having a good time. I'm going to have some more Fireball. That's what I'm going to do. And I am going to introduce someone to the stage, another very funny man. You've seen him on TEDx from the Wall Street Journal, and you're going to see him right now. One of the people helping us behind the scenes, very funny, Drew Tarvin. Drew Tarvin.
Yeah, thank you.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm trying to find the positives in this whole situation as well, as Jim and Lori and everyone was talking about. And if you can't tell from this voice, I am a nerd. And if you are wondering what type of nerd, the answer is yes. Right, computer, math, sci-fi, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars, Star Trek, Starbucks, all of them. But most specifically, I'm an engineer. If we have fellow nerds, certainly share that in the chat, what kind of nerd you are. But me, I'm an engineer. You know, as a kid, I used to like to take things apart and put them back together again, things like clocks and radios and my parents' marriage. Never got that one back together again. But like as an engineer, I've always understood computers way more than I've understood people. Because, like, for me, emotions are just data. Right? That's how I think. Like, emotions are just data, which I've learned is the wrong thing to say when someone is crying. But the pandemic has kind of been interesting for me because everything is happening virtually now, and because of emoticons, I'm actually able to express more emotion now. Like normally, like I don't express that much emotion, but now I got like smiley faces, winky faces. Because I can tell you in person, I have never winked, stuck out my tongue, and blushed at the same time. But like I can do that with emojis. I'm doing okay. I think some people are struggling with this a little bit, especially people kind of like figuring out a new work environment. I think some people are learning that they are not as good at working from home as they were homing from work. And like they're way better checking Facebook and going to the bathroom on company time than getting like any type of productivity done. Because people are finding like it's called remote work because, you know, sometimes it's hard to find. With everything, and maybe if share in the comments if you agree on this, because I'm curious, but can we all kind of just agree, public service announcement, that not everything has to be a Zoom meeting?
Yes.
Right, do you all agree with that? Right, not everything it's like, oh, we should have a meeting, let's hop on Zoom. Right, it's like, oh, I don't feel like typing out an email, let's hop on Zoom.
Yeah.
I got two-factor authentication from Zoom the other day. The computer was like, you know what, I don't feel like sending you your code via text, let's hop on Zoom. Yeah, let's go back to the phone calls. Exactly, I agree. Let's go back to the phone calls. Because here's the thing: is I'm lying way more than I used to because of COVID. You know, because I'm now like so often I find myself like 4 or 5 times a day saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I have to run to another meeting." I'm lying 3 times when I say that, right? I'm sorry, I have to run to another meeting. First of all, I'm not sorry, all right? There's no reason this meeting should have been 45 minutes, Todd. I need to go, right? So I'm not sorry. Second of all, I'm not running anywhere. You can't physically do that outside. You're not even supposed to go outside, so I'm not running. And finally, my meeting isn't actually another meeting. It's just not being in this one. Where I need to be. I'm adjusting. I live here in the East Village. We live in a 400 square foot apartment. We are trying to find creative ways. We built a pillow fort yesterday just so that we would have a new room to explore. Well, we keep rearranging the furniture in our rooms as well, just so it kind of looks a little bit different. It's not quite feng shui. It's a little more like feng shui, too much time on our hands. And I'm adjusting as well. Like I'm a speaker, I'm a comic, so I'm normally either on the road or working from home, and so I'm kind of used to this. I'm not like Dina at all. I am an introvert. In fact, if you know your personality assessments, I am a Type A, blue square, conscientious INTJ with the sign of Aquarius. That I am a stubborn, ambitious introvert who likes long walks on the beach by myself. myself. That's the important part. But what's new to me, though, is I'm used to working from home, being on my own. I'm used to it just being me and Alexa, which hopefully you all are saying thank you. I hope you guys are saying thank you and please to your Alexa. I do it because I want to know if there is a robot uprising. I want Alexa to be like, he was one of the good ones. But what's new for me is my fiance is now working from home, and that's different. We're learning a lot about each other and about how we work and how that's going. Because my fiance works for the United Nations, and her day is just way different than my day. And I just recently learned that actually some countries call it the United Nations Organization, UNO or UNO for short. Which I think every country should call it UNO, right? Because like then if there's like if there's a dictator rising up, UNO could just be like, nope, skip. If there's a drought coming, they'd be like, reverse, right? So much better. But we were having lunch together the other day, and she was looking kind of stressed. I was also kind of stressed, and I was like, so, what's going on? Why are you so stressed? And she's like, I just got off of a 2-hour-long call with North Korea. Like, wow, that is stressful. She's like, why are you stressed? I was like, I just spent 2 hours working on a pun. Days are different. In my defense, though, I thought it was a very good pun. The pun was, if you catch mono twice, does it become stereo? Basically saying she and I are both doing our parts to save humanity. I think equal parts. We got engaged. We just recently got engaged. We got engaged in Australia in February, and then we flew back into COVID and everything that happened. And so it's kind of interesting because I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and now that's 24/7. wasn't quite what I signed up for. But my fiance, she is German. She was born and raised in Germany. First German that I've ever dated. It's the most efficient relationship I've ever been in. It's fantastic. As a result, I'm trying to learn German, and I'm curious if you speak more than one language, share what language you speak in the chat, because I'm curious if people speak more than one language, because I do not. I'm like a typical American. I only speak one language. Anna speaks Russian. We got some French in there, French and Spanish. See, that is impressive. See, I only speak one language, and it took me going to the United Kingdom to realize that I don't even speak English.
Yeah.
I speak American. Realize this, there's some pretty big differences between like British English and American English, right? Like they say lift, we say elevator. They say lorry, we say truck. They say toilets or the loo, we say like bathroom or restroom. And I actually don't like that because here in the U.S., like when we say bathroom, so often that's not accurate. Like if you were out in public before COVID happened, like if you're out in public and you said, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom, it's like there's no bathroom. There's no like bath in that room at a restaurant. Or some people are like, oh, well, you say restroom, and it's like, is that really a room that you want to rest in? Toilets I think is better. It's more accurate. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start saying toilets myself, right? I like the accuracy, the specificity of it. I'm an engineer. I like that. And I was back here in New York in a Starbucks before this whole thing happened, and I went up to the barista, and I was like, excuse me, where are your toilets? And she was confused. She was like, in the bathroom? Always work. But I am trying to learn German, right? Because I'm going to be marrying into that. So I'm trying to learn German. It's terrible. I'm tough at it. It's tough for me. We were recently last year. We were in Germany, and we were going from Germany to Luxembourg. And my fiance was like, "Can you at least have one conversation in German? Can you at least like practice a little bit?" And I'm like, "Fine. All right. I know. We're driving to a hotel. When we get to the hotel, I'm going to have the interaction with the receptionist in German." So I'm like in the car and I'm practicing. I want to try to get it right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk into the hotel and I'm going to say Guten Tag, right? Means good day. Pretty easy. They'll say Guten Tag back, and then I'll say Sprechen Sie English, which means do you speak English? Right? Like I want to go from German to English as quick as possible. She'll say yes, and then I'll say Dankeschön, thank you very much. So I'm like in the car, I'm practicing the pronunciation, like because it's sprechen Sie English, not English, like English. I'm like working on that, going through the whole thing. We get into Luxembourg, we get to the hotel, we walk in, and right as I'm getting ready to say Guten Tag, the receptionist says, Bonjour. My brain shuts down. And in my brain shutting down, the only thing that I could think to say in that moment was, no hablo inglés. which is wrong for multiple reasons, right? First of all, she said something in French, I responded in Spanish, and I said in Spanish, I don't speak English. Right? I hablo inglés. I only hablo inglés. And the woman was very, very kind. She was like, do you want to speak English? And I was like, yes, grazie, prego. Thank you. You've all been fantastic. I have been Drew Tarvin. Thank you so much.
Yay! Drew Tarvin! Yeah.
Fantastic.
So wonderful. Oh, thank you for letting everybody know that I'm a truck in England. I appreciate that. It's one of my favorite things. But actually, you should have mentioned at least Hindi. In Hindi, I'm a lullaby. I like that one so much better instead of truck. I appreciate it. I used to travel a lot. I'm a retired dancer. Tina said that she likes to dance, wants to be a rockette. I am actually a retired hip hop dancer. That is a thing that you have to retire from at some point. Once you hit 40, Jay-Z's not calling. I'll tell you that right now. I danced with a lot of different artists. I mean, I had a wonderful career. I danced for Mariah Carey. I did dance for Jay-Z. I danced for Puffy. I danced for Whitney Houston, who still owes me money. Not going to get it. All right. So,
Oh, wow.
wow. Was that a death joke? It was. Great. You guys ready for more? Yes, you are. Okay. Coming to the stage now. Very funny. Well, coming to the stage. You know what I mean. What the fuck? All right. Coming now to a lap near you is a very funny woman. She's been on The Tonight Show. She was on Seinfeld. Put your hands together. Make a lot of noise. Give a lot of love to Anita Wise, everybody. Anita Wise.
Hey.
Anita.
Oh, no. Hi. Oh, God. All right. Don't get your hopes. Oh, my God. I'm hearing my song twice. All right. I'm going to have to get used to this. How do I stop that?
Let's mute the one that you're not looking into. Or turn the other one off if you've got two on.
Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I wasn't on that one because nobody let me in the Zoom. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I'm like so nervous about this. I'm coming to you live from my linen closet. We need to take my blood pressure. We got washcloths and what's this, Tylenol, anything we need right here. Because they wanted me to stand up. I was all set up with nice everything all together, and I'm reading at 6:45. Yeah, we want you to stand up, because this is so professional. And so I'm like nervous. So anyway, and these things, when I wear them, they always fall. I don't have the right ears. They're standard, but my ears are not. And I knock them out. So, and I forgot to start the timer. Oh. I told you. All right. So this is not the weirdest place I've ever done it, although this is weird being in a little box. Like, you know what else is really weird? Looking at myself is while I'm talking. I've never done stand-up looking at me. And, well, years ago, before I ever did it, I did it just to have an audience. But I did. That's how I worked up to it. I did it first looking in the mirror, which was, like, weird, and, like, now. And then... And then to build up my tolerance of distraction, I did it naked. I did it. They said, picture your audience naked. I'm like, all right. And look there, you see? It's gonna happen. All right. All right. Okay, this is the new thing that we have to get used to, my linen closet. So anyway, yeah, so this is my first time in a little box. This is my first time looking at me. This is my first time in my linen closet. It is not my first time with not a live audience. I've had audiences, but they were not awake. Okay, so that's happened. I'm used to that. So anyway, so you know what else is nice? I don't have to hold in my stomach. I like that part.
Yes.
But this whole situation is tenuous because like my little, I was going to do it on the iPad. Now I'm on the iPhone and it's like propped up, and I really hope my cat doesn't come and knock this over because he's been dead for 2 years, so that would really be weird. Be in the backyard there, so we don't want that to happen. So we're going through the quarantine, which I found out recently is an Italian word for stay home and eat. And I tried my jeans on because, they said you shouldn't wear pants. And they fit. They still fit, not easily. I got the zipper up. It's just the skin over it looks like a Shar-Pei puppy, and you're not going to see that part. So. Oh my gosh. So luckily, right before this all came down, I had total hip replacement. So I got that out of the way. When the weather's damp, I'm not sure I went to the right place, though. I got it at Home Depot. And I had a coupon and it included installation, so that was okay. It works all right. It just squeaks. So that part's not so good. And then when I have sex, the garage door opens, so that's another good thing I don't like. I probably just need more lube. The garage door. And oh my God, so weird. So anyway, so what also happened before this is I got a bird feeder to get ready for spring, and I got my bird seed, which was a little traumatic because I didn't know what kind to get, and there were very many different kinds. And look, I'm gonna knock this out. I swear I am. Okay. Anyway, they had very many kinds, like cracked corn and Lige or whatever that is, and millet, and then Audubon Society, they had a brand, and I thought they will know that's going to be the right kind, and it's the most expensive, and it says right on the bag, it's a better seed to attract the better birds. So I bought it. It worked. This morning I had flamingos humping my lawn ornaments. A little too better, I think, those birds. So it's been a challenge, with the quarantine, just like, it's hard on relationships for one thing. Like I'm hearing from my friends, they're driving me crazy, and even me, I'm alone, and I even got in a fight with myself. I told myself, actually, I got mad. I told myself to kiss my ass. Yeah. I was putting too much pressure, like, do something with this time. It's a special, unique moment in history, like learn a language or something. And I was like, I didn't want the pressure anymore. And I literally told myself to kiss my ass. But we're cool now. It was great. So, yeah. The makeup sex was so good. So anyway, I'm thinking about maybe professional help, a telemed thing. I went online to see who does that, and they specialize, a lot of them. They have, schizophrenia, anger management, drug addiction, and I'm like, I just have low self-esteem. My problems aren't good enough, so I'm not going to do that. So this is really distracting because I can see my neck, and oh my God. Because I'm getting older, and it's like I'm forming a small scrotum here, and I just don't like it. Isn't it bad? You know, you're getting older, and you know, there's just indignities, and I don't think stretchy skin is, you know, I don't know why we need this. Is this like evolutionary necessary? You know, like am I gonna have to twist out of the grip of an apex predator or something? Why do we have it? I don't know. I did go to a friend's house though, and their kid had a gerbil, you know, those little animals, little rodent things. And then I realized, I watched him eat, and I thought, it's for hiding snacky treats. When I'm too feeble to get up, I'll have a little carrot stick stuck away. Goodness. So yeah, I'm bored. I signed up for online dating, a senior site because I'm a boomer. It's a special time of life being a boomer. It's pretty weird. You're like growing new body parts. It's kind of strange, like little things springing out of my neck, like little skin tags. My dermatologist said they are. He said, don't worry, it's just friction from your clothing or jewelry. It's just nothing. It's like good. I'm just pilling. That's all that's happening. Lovely. No, it's fun when you first start, you know, like when you're going through puberty and things start growing. That's fun. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting breasts. Ah, it's fun. Look, but don't touch. Now it's touch. Don't look. So it's weird being older. I was recently single. My husband, well, we had a good relationship. Everything was fine. You know, we loved each other and everything. It's just when you've been together a long time, eventually, you know, one of you dies. What happened there? So anyway, I didn't mean to bring it all down, but you know, that's what happens. I try to look on the bright side, you know, like we had a good marriage. It ended nicely, you know, I mean, it ended not nicely, but, you know, it ended and we were still in love. So that was cool. Like, and now I have peace of mind. I know, like, well, no matter where I go in the world, I'm not going to run into him with some hot new girlfriend. Okay. So that's good. Yeah. So I joined this senior dating service called Brittle. Meeting some nice men. One guy is so nice. He's like, every time I see you, because we're doing the video dating, he goes, every time I see you, you're more beautiful. Isn't that nice? Cataracts. Cataracts. So one guy has a tattoo, which I think is cool. He's got the Marine motto on his arm, Semper Fidelis. It's kind of abbreviated though, because he tried to remove it. You can't read the whole thing now. It just says syphilis. So I'm thinking about a tattoo myself. Oops. Sorry, my thing went off again. Technical difficulty. Oh, good. Okay. Wanted to see how long I'd been talking because I have no idea. Anyway, apparently long enough. So. Okay, it's a brave new world. Right. What was I saying? Yeah, he has a tattoo. I did that part. All right. Anyway, I'm thinking. Oh, it's like starting over is what it is. So, anyway, I'm thinking I'm down the home stretch now, age-wise. Maybe I'll get a tattoo. Like I don't know what. You know, it's just something subtle. Like at first, maybe not too wild. Something, you know, beige. Maybe like a tattoo of a firm neck. I think I'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Anita.
Anita.
Oh God, Anita, so funny, and you know, and you made it. You have a linen closet, you know,
Yes.
and not all of us can say that.
And I dropped the phone and I lost Zoom. I don't know where I hear you, but
Well, Well, then just touch
There
it.
we go. It's the linen closet.
Touch us. So, but I'm jealous that she has a linen closet that she could, like stand in. I don't even have, like, my linens are I have one linen, like that is it. So I don't even need a closet for it. I do have, my kitchen does overlook my living room. Because I know that that's really popular now, like you have to have an open floor concept. So my kitchen overlooks my living room, my bedroom, and my shower. So that's New York living. That's where we're at right now. You guys ready for more? Yes, you are. You ready for it? Yes, you are.
Yeah, we are.
This next gentleman coming to the stage, he is, I'm such a fan of his, and not only for his comedy, but just for him as a person. He's an innovator. He's a creator. He creates opportunity for artists on film and in comedy. And he actually is the creator for one of the charities that we're raising money for, and it's for the New York City comedians. Please help me welcome to the stage everybody's friend in comedy, Mr. Ray Ellen.
Oh, wow. Wow. That was, Lori, that was the nicest intro I think I've ever gotten in the history of doing stand-up. And that was really sweet. Thank you. And that, it only took a pandemic for me to feel, to feel it. That was great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
It's so nice I love getting to see people. It's such a joy. I know. These are really this is just crazy, all this stuff. I am quarantining alone. A lot of people are taking this time to, to learn an instrument or do a lot of reading, pick up a language. I basically just kind of, snapped one night and spray painted my wall. And that's really my great accomplishment. And I learned you're really not supposed to, you shouldn't use spray paint indoors if you plan on sleeping in that room. No clue what kind of issue the fumes were going to cause, and it is damaging. And it's hard to pick up a prescription for something if you need it these days. So couldn't really use spray paint. There was something. And this is a bad knockoff there's a terrific artist named James Goldcrown, and he painted something way downtown called the Love Wall, and it's hundreds of hearts on the wall, and it's great, and he's doing it all over the world. It's really brilliant, and you feel good when you look at it. And he does it for different department stores now, and denim lines and clothing lines and all that. And I certainly, not even if I could afford James Goldcrown, not during a pandemic, not on pandemic wages, I just thought to do a really poor knockoff of James Goldcrown. But it's nice. Every day I get to walk in, I go, did James Goldcrown start a painting in my home? No, he didn't. It's just like I drank too much wine and stole some paint from the superintendent's office. So it's nice. So yeah, I'm doing this by myself, which so many people are. And you often compare yourself to other people. When I see certain people, some who are famous and some who aren't, when you see how they're quarantining, like a mansion somewhere, you're like, oh, they're doing it right. And then obviously we're all lucky. We're in a safe place. Other people look at us and they think we're doing it right. And my last serious relationship was about a year ago. I met her right around this time, maybe a little over a year ago. And I never look at anything of hers on social media, whatever. And it was the only time I ever looked and I happened to click and I saw her Instagram. And I really said to myself, it was the only time during this horrible thing that's happening where I looked at somebody's social media and I said, oh, I'm doing so much better than them. I was pleased. And it was such a jerky thing of me, but it was an awkward breakup that she and I had. I accidentally, after we broke up, I had a technical mishap. I bought some washcloths on Amazon, and I meant to ship them to me. I bought a whole bunch of washcloths, and I accidentally sent them to her because her address was the last thing in my Amazon queue. So it's got to be really awkward when you have a bad breakup with someone and they receive 24 washcloths in the mail. What message does that send somebody? You're dirty. Yeah. Take that. I don't know. I should have just kept, and it was a total accident. I didn't contact her. She didn't contact me, but I know she got it. And I really felt like I should just keep sending random things. Just jars of lube and salamis, things like that. Very, very awkward. So yeah, so I when I do for now, it's like I don't even know what flirting is anymore. I go to the supermarket, I go to CVS, the pharmacy, and occasionally I go to a smoothie shop, and I find myself in these really long conversations with people just about products, and I walk away going like, oh, I think they really like me, when in actuality they're doing their job, and I've just been isolated. I don't bother doing any online dating. I think it's a huge waste of time. I do it a little bit during non-pandemic times, but I just feel like I know I'm gonna, within a few conversations, if you want to meet somebody. Often one conversation, I really want to meet this person, and it's just not gonna happen. I mean, I guess I guess we could just put on masks and gloves and kind of just feel comfortable to stand across the street from each other, because I get nervous if somebody kind of just jogs by me and I have my mask and gloves on, and they're a couple feet away. I really do get very, very uncomfortable, and it probably, I think I'm overreacting. I don't think there's that much to be concerned. I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but I'm a bit of a germaphobe and a bit of a hypochondriac, where it's, if you're having a conversation with someone, particularly on like a sort of a first date, and you constantly just purelling the whole time, well, no one really wants to. That's not very sexy, hey, where are you from? Very appealing. I am curious. I would kind of like to get the hell out of New York City, because it's you do feel a little claustrophobic here. So I am thinking of maybe going on to Farmers Only, that dating site. I'll see how. I just want to see a lot of imagery of nature and just trees and grass, and maybe I could get a rental car and wipe it down and just drive out to Wyoming to my newfound love somewhere. But so it's interesting. I don't know how to cook. I'm getting better at it, but I did try one time. I put some chicken in the oven, and I put on some socks as oven mitts, because I don't know. I really don't cook. I mean, I'm just king of delivery. And finally just accepted the fact, what? I'm not married. I don't have kids. I'm just going to have an enormously high food delivery bill, because I keep making chicken jerky, and that's not the plan. I'm just trying to make chicken. So it's just a total disaster. But my ex-girlfriend didn't cook much either. She never really cooked for us. And one thing she used to say to me, I always feel like, when we're together, and this is also a really awkward relationship, because one day she'd say, I love you. You treat me better than any man I've ever been with. She'd tell me what she loved me. And then 2 or 3 days later, she'd say, I just want to be friends. Like total mixed messages. It was the biggest mind fuck of my life. And I hadn't really thought about it in a while. A pandemic makes you think about, wow, you know what? This coronavirus is horrible, but that relationship was much worse. It really helps give you some perspective on things, She used to say to me things like, it's us against the world. We're partners in crime. It's us against the world. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to battle the world. I don't need that. Me and you against the world. I'm not a fighter. Look at me. I'm 5'10", 164. I'm not going to beat anybody up. The world is going to kick the shit out of me. It's not us against the world. How about it's me and you and just hire a few people. No, it's a newer joke. It didn't work. It was hard to tell what jokes do exactly work and what don't. That's all right. She said to me she wanted to have a list. We each were supposed to have a list of people we're allowed to sleep with. It's like your hall pass list or whatever. And her list, she had 3 names. It was Bradley Cooper, fine, Barack Obama, okay, and Bill Clinton. Those are the 3 names on her list. They're probably all Democrats, but a mix. There was a mix in there. And she said to me, what about you? Who are your 3 names? I'm like, well, mine is the cashier at CVS. the woman who works at the deli, and Maggie, the easy bartender at O'Flanagan's. That's my list. Good luck with your presidential 3-way that I'm sure you're gunning for. I hope it works out for you. I know that Obama and Clinton are dying to sleep with you. And Bradley Cooper, if anyone, when he was singing "In the Hello," I'm sure he was thinking of you, Jacqueline. Anywho, so it's I try to make the most of these times. The last date I had, the last actual date I had was I went out with someone who I did. This was pre-corona time. It was with someone that I met on a dating thing, and we went out. We're having a really good time, and then end of the night, she gave me a hand job. Yeah, it totally fucked up my Uber rating. But you know, things happen every once in a while. Like, really, you want to do it right here in the back of this Camry? This is going to be a little awkward. Really, I mean, she's looking at us in the rearview mirror. This is uncomfortable. But all right, you know what's even worse than getting a hand job in the back of a Camry? Telling that joke to only 4 people that you can hear laugh. That's okay. This is for a good cause, everybody. It's fine. It's all for a good cause. Is there any? Sean Gamora. I don't know. I like that name. It's a good name, Sean Gamora. G-M-O-R-A. Is that someone's friend, or do we know Sean Gamora?
Yes. Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
It's a cool name. I like that name, Sean Gamora.
He's a
Like
doctor.
Sodom and Gamora. I like it. I'm sure that joke's probably been made already tonight. We can be a little dirty, right?
Yes.
I did a hand job joke and said fuck, so I guess it's okay. My next door neighbor, this guy, he is getting laid nonstop. He lives, you know, he used to be with lots of different women. Now I think he's with one person, which is good. And I hear this through the wall, behind those hearts. I hear a woman say, ooh, come at my face. Come at my face. Ooh. Now, the first thing I thought was, all right, I gotta get a glass that works better against this wall. And the second thing I thought was, this is totally grammatically incorrect. It's not come at your face. It's come on my face. You know, come at my face. No, it's coming. And I don't know what to do. I thought, I'm like, do I write a note and slide it under the door? You know, having a great time, but just so you know, FYI. But I just figured, no, I don't want to interrupt him. I'll just continue masturbating. And then I realized maybe it's me. Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe she was actually speaking grammatically correct. Maybe they're playing a game. You know, maybe she was jumping around the room. You know, like come at my face. You know, and instead I'm just assuming it's, you know, she could have been a total. That joke works better in a club. Just felt good to share what was going on behind that wall. I will say this. I do hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. And these are wonderful causes that we have tonight. I started the supportcomedians.org, because I knew that a lot of comedians were contacting me, really freaking out, and a lot aren't getting unemployment. They're not getting any pandemic aid. And, you know, many have children, or some are single parents. Some don't have parents, just need help paying the bills. So I thought I wanted to put it together, and raising some money, but we aren't where we need to be. And I'm hoping that people contribute. And I'm also hoping that we can all get back to doing the things we love. I love to travel. The last place I went to before I came back to New York, I was in Texas. I was in a town called Abilene, Texas. Yeah, who's from Texas out there?
I am.
Who's that?
Eva.
Austin, Texas.
Oh, Eva, now I see you. Eva Radke. Oh, there you are.
Hello,
Eva,
hi.
you're from what part of Texas?
Seguin, Texas, home of the largest pecan ever, and then Austin.
Wow. Well, there's no need to talk shit and brag during a pandemic, Eva. I mean, all right.
I know. I wish I didn't say all that.
That's fine. That's pretty cool. And you're there right now? You're in Texas right now?
No, I'm in Brooklyn. I left Texas for good reason, but I support the good people of Texas.
Well, it's not. You should. Why not? Austin is a great city. I was in Abilene, Texas. Yeah.
What were you doing there?
Yeah. If you have never been to Abilene, everybody, save your fucking money. There's no reason to go. I worked at a little comedy club down there in Abilene. Called Cousin Fuckers. You've ever heard of this, Eva? Have you?
Not the club, but I've heard of cousin fucking.
Yeah. A guy comes up to me after the show and he said, "Hey, Ray, that was really funny. That was great. Come here, I want you to meet my family. These are my boys, Austin, Houston, and Little Dallas."
Yeah.
He named his kids after cities in Texas. This would never happen to me in New York, ever, right? Hey, great show. Yeah, hey, buddy, I want you to meet my family. Yeah, these are the twins, Canarsie and Coney. They're Flushing.
Brownsville.
Yeah, there's my wife, Flatbush, right over there. Flatbush. Anyway, I'm glad I got to be a part of this, and you've been such a great group, and thank you again for coming out, everybody. And I throw it back to you, Lori, wonderful host. Lori
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Lori.
Ray, Ellen, everybody. And please make sure, support New York City comedians. It really is a great cause that's close to my heart, but they're all close to my heart. I want to mention them again, just in case you forgot. There is Art Cube Army, and again, they're doing PPEs and medical supplies for hospitals and first responders, and also God's Love We Deliver, which is medically tailored meals for severely ill patients, which is extremely needed in this time. So definitely do that. I love how there's so many single, especially comics, you know, but there's like so many single people, and I'm one of them. I'm actually one of the people that really enjoys being single, because I don't think that I don't do any of the dating apps. I tried it. It wasn't for me. It's definitely not going to happen now during a pandemic, because the only interaction I have with people is yelling at them to back the fuck up. So that's not really encouraging for someone to try and talk to me. But I do believe that it will happen one day. And the reason why I really know that it will happen is because I read The Secret. And I don't know if you're familiar with The Secret, but it's a book that talks about the law of attraction and how we are our thoughts, and we can manifest our thoughts into existence. And so I've been thinking about, I've had a lot of time thinking about my perfect man, and I'm actually creating him in my mind. He's such a great person. He would donate all of his money to all of the charities, you know, like he is just, he said the funniest thing the other day. Oh God, I'm gonna bring up the next comic. I'll tell you guys after. All right, your last comic coming to the stage. Oh my God, what hasn't she been on? She's been on HBO. She's been on The View. She's been on Comedy Central, Def Comedy Jam, The Apollo. She is one of the greatest people in this line of work. Dare I say it, on the planet. Please make a lot of noise. Put your hands together for Miss Leanne Lord.
Woo!
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody. I popped into the show a little late because I was on another show earlier because, you know, Zoom. But I want to say a couple of things. Dina, thank you for putting this together. And in honor of the show and your name, I have my shot of Fireball.
Hey.
And I didn't want it to be a different show, so I'm going to do this after. Because if I did it before, all those credits that she just gave wouldn't mean anything. Trust me. I'm just being honest. Ray Ellen, oh my gosh, sir. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the comedy community. People don't realize how on the edge we are on a regular day.
Yeah.
You know, so the pandemic edge is really out there. So thank you for what you're doing. And that means I'm going to hit you up on Tuesday.
Plenty.
That's what that means. And Drew, oh my goodness, baby, you had my heart. I was like, another nerd is on the show. I put on my Star Trek necklace just for you, sweetie. Goodness, I am such a nerd. I go to Star Trek conventions. I go to Dragon Con. Yeah, I don't even dress up. I just go and they're like, "You're a girl. Are you cosplaying?" Yes, I'm cosplaying as a woman. It is so nice to be here and see faces without masks. You wouldn't think that would be a thing that you'd look forward to. Like there was a group in the 80s called Men Without Hats, and now I see people without masks. So I'm really enjoying this. I have to say though, I actually don't mind wearing a mask because I feel like I'm saving money on lipstick and dental work. I'm gonna put that money right in my retirement account. You know, the one I haven't started yet. TikTok. That's a different meaning for me. I will tell you though, I went out the other day. There's a park across the street from me, and I went walking, and I saw these older women sitting on a park bench, they're like grandmas, right? Like nanas. And they were all suited up. And anytime they saw somebody without a mask, they were like, excuse me, here you go. And they were handing out masks.
Aww.
And that was such a beautiful moment. And then I thought, these were the same chicks back in the day in the club handing out condoms. Excuse me. Here you go. Be safe. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And can I just say, I'm so, I shouldn't say shocked. I'm happy that there are people here for this Zoom comedy show, because I feel like Monday through Friday, there are so many Zoom meetings. People just get Zoomed out, so I'm happy to see you here, because I've been on a bunch this week, and I was on one call, and I don't know, I guess my internet, was kind of like not strong. My Wi-Fi wasn't strong. And so my sound is going in and out. My video is going in and out. And this guy on the call was like, are you on Wi-Fi? I was like, yeah. He goes, well, you need an Ethernet cable plugged directly into your router. And I'm like, my router is on a different floor in my house. He goes, you just run a cable out the window. So what you're saying is I need a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend who's techie, handy, and not afraid of heights. Okay. I'll update my Tinder. In the meantime, you're just going to have to be happy hearing every other word I say. Pretend we're dating. But for the people in the audience, man, I want to let you in on a little something that this is what we comics talk about amongst ourselves. How people always think doing stand-up comedy is easy, right? They think they can do it because they're funny, right? And they can make their friends laugh. And we as comics, we get a little upset about that. And we say, like, no other industry has to deal with that. That's not true. Have you guys noticed the overnight armchair epidemiologists we're seeing? All of a sudden, somebody's got a degree in virology, a master statistician. I had to call one dude out on Facebook. I was like, sir, I went to school with you. You dropped statistics the first day. How are you interpreting graphs and charts? Are you serious right now? It's just ridiculous. I mean, there's actually a phrase for this. People have studied this. It's called the Gunning-Kruger principle, where there are people who actually think that they know more than people who have studied and worked in their field for 20 years because they spent an afternoon on Google. I'm going to need you to sit down. Sit your dumb ass down. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody, because I think we have let loud and dumb get away with way too much in this country. Right? Okay, let me put it this way. I loved President Obama, okay? But he wasn't perfect. And I did not believe every word that fell out of his mouth, okay? But trust and believe, if he had said something about how we could cure Ebola with some Clorox, I'd have been like, Michelle, come get your man. We are done. It is past his bedtime. Okay, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't know how y'all are handling. I had to cut back on the news. I had to really trim that down because in the beginning, I was watching everything, right? I was watching like Fox and CNN, so that I could be equally misinformed on everything. But I want to put this in context for you guys. This is how crazy it is right now, okay? Within the last 2 weeks, both the United States government and the military admitted that they have evidence that UFOs are real. And we all went, whatever. And like everybody was like me. I'm like, if the aliens did not come here with a cure, an evacuation plan, or an invitation to an interspecies cocktail hour, I am not interested at all. Because here's the thing, the planet is not ready for company. We're not. If there are aliens here watching the show, okay, listen, y'all gotta go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Earth is closed. We going through some stuff right now, and when we get it together, we'll send you an invitation, little Zoom meeting, and do this proper. In the meantime, we closed. This is insane, and I have actually spent my time, this is so insane, this has made me sit down and rethink who I am and what I want to do with my life. Because when this pandemic is over, please realize life is short and you have to really follow your dream. When this is done, I want to go out there and do what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a dominatrix bartender. Yes, and it's real easy. I think it'll be the best job in the world. Here's how it works. You can order whatever you want. You're going to get whatever I give you. But I don't think it's unusual to have second thoughts, you know, to want to change your career. Like real talk. I'm wondering how many people regret going into medicine right now. So maybe they should have stuck with musical theater. That way, instead of risking their lives every day, you know, they could be on their balcony doing a Zoom sing-along. Because this is the other thing, if you are trying to get through this pandemic without a balcony, good luck. Because apparently a balcony is how you do it. I want to give a shout out before I forget to anybody here who is a mental health care professional. You guys must be working overtime, right? Because this is not regular crazy that we're going through right now. This is extra crispy crazy. Like last year, I invited my therapist over for Thanksgiving dinner, you know, so she could see what I'm working with. And yeah, she's in therapy now. But I think if there's any benefit to what we're going through, people are realizing how important mental health care is, and they're actually trying to make it more affordable, right? Because I remember I went to one guy last year, and he wanted to charge me $150 an hour to talk. I was like, dude, I could talk to the voices in my head for free. But I think I'm doing for my mental health what all of us are doing, right? We're Netflixing, we're Huluing, we're Amazon Priming, whoever we could scam a password out of. That's what we're doing. And I'm catching up on a lot of stuff, man. Everybody's like, are you bored? No, I'm not bored. I have TV. I'm good. So I've been watching, I got into this little thing where I was watching classic horror movies, like scary movies. I was watching Jason, Freddy Kruger, Hannah Montana. Like, you should check it out. Hannah really holds up. And let me just clarify. I like scary, but not gory. Do you understand? Okay, because I'm a neat freak, right? So everybody's like, ah, that's scary. I'm like, who's gonna clean that up? That's where I'm at. But yeah, I'm watching good stuff too. Like I watched Harriet, the movie about Harriet Tubman, and if I could I gotta tell you guys, the part that really hurt my heart, you know, is when she escaped. Right? She's free. She goes back home a year later to rescue her husband, and he's already married to somebody else. Y'all, I took that personal. Like, if that could happen to Harriet Tubman, that could happen to me. I leave, I come back, he's married to another woman. Talk about, well, baby, I didn't know where you went. I didn't know how long you'd be gone. Motherfucker, I went to work. 8 hours. You couldn't hold it down for 8 hours. This is why I'm single. I did soothe myself. I watched Aquaman with Jason Momoa. And here's the, I'm a little weak on the superhero movies, you guys. And somebody told me this. I'm not sure it's true. Somebody told me that Aquaman has a plot. I don't remember that. I remember turning it on, and then 2 hours and 21 minutes later, I was pregnant. I'm gonna have a beautiful baby in 8 months. Oh man, but I this is so much fun. Listen, you guys, I know this isn't the same as being at a comedy club, but this is all I've done today. No, for real. So I'm gonna take this. I don't even want to turn. I'm gonna leave this camera on. When y'all are gone, I'm still gonna be here. Like, hey, see who wanders into my Zoom room. Listen, you guys. I hope we've raised a ton of money. For some wonderful causes. I'm not gonna take Lori's job. But I do want to say thank you. And if you guys have enjoyed me tonight, my name is Leanne Lord. If you have not enjoyed me tonight, my name is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Leanne Lord, you know you enjoyed her and her smart ass. That's what she is. Oh, everybody, we went out. Like, don't you feel like you went out on a Friday night? Like this was out. Like I came out. This is what I did too. I got up at the crack of noon, and then here I am for this party. So for all of you that are watching, please continue to watch the New York City Underground Comedy Festival. Jim Mendrinos, who you saw earlier. He too, I mean, the stuff that Jim Mendrinos does and how he gives back to other artists and creating opportunities is just so many films and shorts and everything. And he created this. So for the next 2 weeks until May 22nd, you can see comedy almost every night. Go to the page, go to our website, and you can see what other shows that you want to see. And every day you can click on, it should be on your screen that you can go to Art Cube Army. So you can you can donate money to them. Again, PPE, medical supplies that are going out to hospitals and first responders. God's love we deliver. You know, there are a lot of people that don't have meals and they can't provide for themselves and they can't cook for themselves, and you know, just on a regular day. And then when you have someone who's severely sick and that is desperate in need, and God's love we deliver provides that. So you can throw your money there. And you know, listen, comedy, Dina had said it earlier, comedy is the most sought after in Google, above porn. All right. Hopefully we got some porn addicts jacking off to us telling jokes, you know.
Yes! I have arrived!
I'm going to rub one out after this, you know what I'm saying? All right. But, you know, listen, let's be honest. You would not have been able to get through or continue to get through this pandemic, this lockdown, this quarantine, this social distancing without art. You couldn't do it. It's on your televisions. It's the movies you watch, the books you read, the comedy that you turn to, and we all need to laugh, and we all need to have that outlet of laughter. It's how we get through, and comics do that because they live and breathe for it, and they need your help right now. So if you can please give to the comics, please donate whatever you can. I know some of y'all got that stimulus check. I didn't get it, but y'all got it. And you're getting unemployment, and you're getting that extra $600 so you can get they're almost at their goal. We got to get them to their goal. I thank you so much. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Drew. Thank you to all of the comics that performed tonight. Anita, Ray, Leanne, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure sharing Friday night with you. I hope to see you again. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, wear your masks, and brush your teeth.
Lori Summer, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Dina, you want to take us out of here?
Is this the after show mingle?
Oh.
The after show mingle. I didn't know we were having one of those.
If you're
I don't know. What are we doing? Hey.
If you're friends with the comics, you can come backstage and hang out with us at the bar, like the cool kids do. No, I think, you know, like, please make your way out of the club in an orderly fashion. Don't forget to tip your server and donate to your causes. But thank you all for coming. Come to the Underground Comedy Festival. Stay in touch. Follow everyone on social media. If you don't have anyone's handles, let me know. We are out. We are joking around. We are bringing laughter. And we thank you for bringing yourselves tonight. So good night, everyone. Stay safe and stay home.
Thank you, Dina.
Good night, Dina. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you so much.
Thanks all.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ray.
guys.
Love the
Bye.
wall.
Thank you.
Oh.
Bye, everybody. Put
Hey,
on
Drew,
pants.
stay nerdy, man.
Yeah.
Hold it down
love,
for all
love
of us.
the necklace. Love it.
You too. And
Thank
love
you.
meeting.
Thank you. I nerd hard, son.
everybody. This is
Hello.
I'm Amanda, and that's Jim.
Yeah.
And or actually, that's Jim, depending on which way the window is. Eminem. We're gonna release a rap.
I want M&Ms now.
You want M&Ms? But
you know what else I want though? You viewers, I want you to go check out our Amazon special.
Yeah, it's
finally an M&M special.
Streaming on Amazon Prime. So if you would like to see videos that are not contained in 2 little boxes, then you just go over to Amazon Prime.
They were made BC before Corona.
BC, yeah. And there's actually social contact in there. We are not social distancing in those videos.
So much social contact.
Way too much
and
social
some unsocial contact.
There's a little bit of antisocial contact in there. But go and enjoy it. And we'll keep bringing you new videos all the time over here too. All right? Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Antisocial contact.
One of them fat boy belts too. Mine don't fit either. So then when I got out of jail, I decided I would try drugs. Dick pics. Like a fat guy needs that kind of stress. Have you ever played Santa Claus? No. Pays $150 to $200 an hour. Ho, 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 I am in. And then I kicked my wife. While I was joining the gym, I pick out the one with the best snack and smoothie bar. So what's my logical answer? I go get a vasectomy. My first thought was, damn, I'm paying you a lot of money and I gotta shave myself. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much. Very much. I'm John G. Thank you.
Just please get the fuck out!
Don't you love me anymore?
So what are you gonna do?
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You need to make some plans, explore your different options. But besides, with you guys being broken up, it's a really good opportunity for you to get waylaid.
You always wanted to move to LA, now's your chance.
I still love my wife.
Okay, can you stop being a whiny little bitch?
Is this some sort of experimental therapy?
Does this mean you're not gonna drive me back and forth to shoots?
Probably.
I'm gonna need a raise.
So, this has been a wonderful sociological experiment. Did you guys have any worries about signing up to do this?
No.
No, yeah, we're an open book.
We are, and we're always on the same page, always.
We're an open book on the same page.
You're still not ready? We have to leave in like 5 minutes.
I'm ready.
You're not dressed.
Yeah, I am.
No, you can't go like this.
Do you want some tea?
No, I'm good. Actually, I think I'm just gonna turn on some wrestling.
Like hell you are.
Oh, yeah, well, that's the last time we watched Sherlock in this house. What made you change your mind?
Half-naked girls.
Oh.
Oh my god, this is so exciting.
He got me a vibrator.
Mom was right. That really was a good gift.
There's no one at the beach right now. Do you want a skinny dip?
All right.
No. What are you doing?
Speaking of her hair, by the way, every morning a clump of just red chia pet is just in the shower. Every morning. I don't know how she still has hair.
Are you trying to tell me that someone sent you unsolicited photo of boobs?
I mean, I don't know. It's not impossible. You tell me people send you dick pics all the time.
Yeah, but it's different.
How?
It's just different.
He just flips the channels, like, and I'm like, I don't even understand what's happening.
She just likes to think she's right without considering any other information.
Juice or milk. He never finishes it off and throws it out. He just leaves a little bit at the bottom.
You would look so hot in this. I'll return it. I'll return the lingerie and the shoes. Okay?
Wait, what? What shoes? No, stop. What shoes? You didn't say anything about the shoes.
What?
They're saying, where do you want to do your special? There's only one place. I want to go home. Comic strip. That's home. Holy shit, it's good to come up when you're already drunk. That's amazing. And I'm angry all the time. I ain't laughing, guys are looking up like, does that shit work? Life speeds away. I think it's time you get back into shape. Doc, I've been coming to you for 18 years. Where the fuck did you dig up the word back? There are some days I've done nothing but ejaculate and sleep, I'll be honest with you. I don't know why I looked directly at you for that joke. That was a little wrong. Well, I roll my eyes. That is the first whiskey dick reference of the evening. It is now official. I like this side of the room more than these people. Screw these people. How are you? Well, what was long? On occasion, I walk up next to people that look like Dennis Rodman, but trend is you either have a good drunk story or you are someone's drunk story. I'm too damn old. I love the fact that some of these are time release jokes. They're sneaky jokes that will get to you in a minute or two. How come no matter how much sleep you get, when we wake up in the morning, we're still tired? Kind of like, good morning. I'm ready for bed. Hey, the light bill's late. It's always dark where I am. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Hey, I'm back.
How'd the audition go?
What about you? Get some writing done?
Do you remember Matt from acting school?
Yeah.
Why don't we let him stay here for at least a couple of weeks till he finds a place? Won't be too long.
It's gonna be uncomfortable, our apartment is too tight, and it's gonna be weird.
How's it gonna be weird?
Well, Matt and I used to date, remember?
Like how serious?
You should guys get like a first floor unit or something? That is my agent. Hold on for a second.
He has an agent?
Oh my god, that guy just grabbed my ass!
So he legit actor.
You did a really good thing by letting him stay here.
He's acting right now on Hollywood Boulevard.
He's hooked up with the SAGs.
Is this how you want me?
As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sinners, let's go down, come on down. Come on, sinners, let's go down to the river to pray. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown, good Lord, show me the way. Well, in my time of dying, don't want nobody to mourn down. All I want for you to do is take my body home. Well, down to the river, I can die easy. Down to the river, well, I can die easy. Don't want nobody to mourn. All I want for you to do is take my body home. Well, so I can die easy. Down to the river, down to the river, down to the river, down to the river. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. Down to the river, I can die easy.